What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? This is your brother Chief Kalanaga, Flying Eagle here with another video. All right. This one is not gonna be that long. Maybe 20, 25 minutes for the most, if so long. I'm just gonna drop some information for y'all. All right, let me make sure I have audio. All right, we got audio. All right, cool. So what I'm gonna do in this video is I'm just gonna go over a few things with y'all, right? I'm gonna put you guys up on some game, okay? There's a reason why we, people such as ourselves, we are lacking when it comes to, technology, when it comes to being advanced. You know what I'm saying? We think that a lot of opportunities we don't have, or for the lack thereof, we think it's happening because of the color of our skin. And that is, trust me, that is the furthest thing from the truth. All right. The color of your skin is not holding you back, is the state of your mind. Okay. That's what's holding you back. So, with that being said, I'm going to go over copyrights, trademarks, and patents. Okay. If you don't know what that is, then I'll give you an introduction to what it is, right? Because what people don't realize is we are the originators, but because we don't protect our work, we don't protect our slangs, we don't protect our phrase, right? We don't protect our intellectual property, then of course, other people come take it, other nationalities come take it, and we say, oh, all they do is take, take, take. Yes, they take because we don't protect it, right? Now, it's because you don't know how, right? Nobody taught us that, right? So for me, being a teacher, I like to cover a whole plethora of different areas and topics and subjects, right? And whatever you feel you may have some use for, then use it. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving the information for free. I don't charge for nothing. I don't ask for donations because guess what? I'm highly favored, and the universe is always giving me in abundance. That's why I always have. That's why I always get, because why? I'm always giving without looking for anything back in return. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, we're going to go over a few of those things. And because just imagine, right? We are so creative. Once you listen to this video and you listen to what I'm saying, you'll go back in your recollection, and you will literally recollect certain words or certain phrases, right? That you could have copywritten, all right? That you could have trademarked, right? Certain ideas that you had, certain inventions that you had that you could have patented, but you just didn't know. So you took it for granted, right? Look at a lot of old rappers, right? A lot of old artists, especially rappers, they always have some type of slang, okay, or some type of saying that go viral. But guess what? They don't protect it. You know what I'm saying? And next thing, the vampires, they take it and they copyright it, they trademark, and then boom, before you know it, you can't use it no more without you getting sued. Can you imagine if every little slang or everything that we said, our intellectual property, we had protected it? Anything that's done with that song or that word or that phrase, whatever it is, you would be getting a check. Okay. So I want to teach you guys how to work a little smarter. You see what I'm saying? Opposed to harder. Right now, I own about, I would say about 25 different domain names, right? And people are always reaching out to me to buy them. I'm talking about buying domain names. Right now, I have a domain name that somebody offered me like $2,500 for. I'm not selling it because it's a hot item. You know what I'm saying? So I'm letting it just sit there. And they always give me a suggested price for it. The point I'm making is you have to be a little wiser in the things that you do. Move a little, just move with some wisdom. All right. That's all I'm just saying. So we're going to take a look at copyright, right? The first thing we're going to look at is the copyright, what it is, to give you an idea of some of the things that you could copyright. Okay. Now, this may not be for everybody, but hey, if it's for you, by all means, check out the information. Okay. All right. Give me 1 second. Let me just pull that up. Copyright, copyright. Boom. Here we go. So here we go. What does a copyright protect? And like I said, I put all the links in the description so you could go ahead and do your own independent, research or recap or do your due diligence, right? I'm just giving you an introduction so to open up your mind so you could start thinking outside the box. Okay, we have to get out of the box that we put ourselves in. Nobody's putting us in a box except ourselves. Okay, now what does copyright protect? Copyright protects the way in which something is expressed. It does not protect the ideas, right? So a copyright will not protect your idea. However, it will protect the way it's expressed. You feel what I'm saying? So you have to make the distinction between your idea and the expression of your idea, right? To protect the idea is a whole different thing. Okay. Now, for example, if you wrote a new computer program to perform a function, the software code would be protected by the copyright. Okay. In other words, the way that program, the computer program is expressed, right? The code itself would be protected by a copyright. Someone else could then write their own computer program to perform the same function, right? They would not infringe on your copyright unless they copied the software code of your program itself. All right. So let's see if we could make that in simpler terms, or kind of like, let me just reiterate a little bit, right? So for instance, if you write a computer program, right, the function of a computer program, right? Now the code, the software code that you created for the function of that computer program can be copyright, right? Now someone else could create another computer program to perform with the same functions. However, it would only be an infringement if they actually copied the software code that you use for your program. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so you have different copyrights, right? You have the words in a novel can be copyright, photographs can be copyright. Okay, the words and tables in a marketing plan. All right, software code of a computer program, the words that express a product formulation, the words in a technical manual that explain how a secret manufacturing process works. Okay. They also have, they give you an example, for instance, right? The words in the novel. Copyright does not protect the ideas behind the storyline, right? However, it protects the technicalities and the expression of that novel. Example, another novel with the same storyline written in different words will not be infringed, right? Copyright infringements occur in a distinctive or a substantial part of the original if it's copied. So again, somebody could write the same novel, right? But not in the same way that you wrote it. They could alter it, okay? If they alter it and do it in their own style, okay, that's not an infringement. But anytime they use exactly what you use, that's called an infringement, okay? So just give you a few ideas of copyrights, okay? I hope that makes sense. Now, that link I put in there will tell you what the copyrights protect, what are some examples of copyrights, what are the requirements for material to be copyright, how long does a copyright protection last, how can my copyright be protected in other countries, what are my rights as a copyright holder, what are the moral rights. Okay, so all of this is actually in this little article. It's a great article. Take your time, read it, and teach your children about those things. Okay, they're never too young to own copyrights or trademarks or even patents. Okay, now let us go to the next one. We're going to take a look at trademarks right now. Give me 1 second. A trademark. Well, somebody's talking about Aborigines. This is not the video for that. I have endless stuff on my channel, where I talk about rights of indigenous people. So you could look up OnDrip, okay? OnDrip, UNDRIP, OnDrip PDF. But this is not what that video is all about. But you could look that up and you'll find the rights of indigenous people. All right. Let's go to the next one. We're going to look at trademarks. Okay. Trademarks. And there are different types of trademarks, just so you know, right? What are trademarks? In this article, they'll tell you what a trademark is, why trademarks matter, what kinds of trademarks are there, the proper and improper use of trademarks, trademark status, frequently asked questions. For more information, contact an attorney, etc., etc. Okay, so we're just gonna read a little bit on what are trademarks, right? Trademarks are not words, phrase, or symbols. Okay, we are now when we're talking about words, phrase, symbols, etc., we are talking about copyrights, right? But trademarks are words. Pardon me. Trademark are word, phrase, or symbol which represent a company or a product. So a trademark is a representation of your product or your company. Okay. Once again, a trademark. I did say a trademark is not. My correction. Trademarks is a word or words, phrase, or symbol which represent a company or your product. They distinguish the products or services of one company or organization from those its competitors may provide. People can register trademarks to legally protect the rights to their creations or intellectual property. Some other examples of trademarks includes acronyms like NBC, IBM, and extended to slogans. Even the way your word or your phrase or your symbol, the font can be a trademark as well, right? And even colors can be trademarks, right? So just so you know, why does trademark matters? You could read that there. Why it matters? Trademarks matter because they allow customers to recognize brands in a crowded market, and they keep the next person from copying or infringing on someone else's work. Okay. What kind of trademarks are there? Let me give you an example of them, right? There are many different types of trademarks. They can be combined in various ways to align with the personality or look of a brand. Types of trademarks include brand names like Apple, McDonald's, Dolce Gabbana, product names like iPod and Big Mac, company logos like the golden arch of the McDonald's, NBC. All those are trademarks, right? Slogans like Capital One, what's in your wallet, McDonald's, I'm loving it. Just like Nike, just do it. Artists and rappers, they have all these sayings. They could trademark those things. And anytime somebody say that, guess what? You're getting a check. That's why I tell you, Lineage, we got to be creative. We got to start thinking outside the box. Too many people are capitalizing on our productivity, on our intellectual property, and we just use it as a slang, having fun, when the truth of the matter is everybody else look at it as an opportunity. You see what I'm saying? So you have to start thinking outside the box. All right. Words in in stylized font like Coca-Cola and eBay. Colors like the National Breast Cancer Foundation, right? Product shapes like the Coca-Cola bottle and Apple iPod. Sounds like the three-tone shine at NBC and the Yahoo Yodel, right? Fictitious characters like the talking Geico, right? Or the gecko, pardon me, with Geico, right? Symbols also known as devices like Nike swoosh symbols and Mercedes emblem. Combination also as composite marks include more than one feature like Starbucks coffee, etc., right? So you have proper and improper use of trademarks. That's there. You could read that your trademark status to see whether your trademark is active or not, and you have frequently asked questions. So that information is there for you. So please do some more research. I just want to give you guys other things to think about so that you're able to capitalize on those things, right? Let's go to the next one, patents, right? Which is very, very important. Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, Lineage. No problem. Or like I said, definitely, I've done a lot of videos on that, but look at UNDRIP, UNDRIP, and that's the rights of indigenous people, United Nations on the rights of indigenous people. I mean, it is not legally binding because we are not enforcing it. I mean, I made an attempt to work on that with some people, but again, it looks like a lot of old people, when a group of us come together to work, there are always people who look like us that want to come destroy everything we create. So I kind of took a break from all that, but definitely we need to again come together and enforce that and pass those things into law and make it legally binding. All right. If for instance, if there are certain things going on in the United States, the corporation, and as indigenous people, it's affecting us in a negative way, we have a right to go to the UN and bring these complaints to the UN, but we are not organized. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just opening up your mind to let you know I'll be moving in that direction with a small group of people, who like-minded people. Okay. But again, that's another video. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. We're talking about patents right now, right? Boom, here we go. What is a patent? Give me 1 second. Let me just make that a little bigger. Okay. Patent. What is a patent, right? Patents are one of the most common and powerful forms of protection for intellectual property. Like I'm actually working on an app right now, right? I reached out to LegalZoom, okay? And they put me onto a specialist. I got his extension and everything. So when I'm ready, I'm gonna make sure that I detail my idea. I'm gonna draw out the concept of my app. You know what I'm saying? Everything it entails, you know, all the specifications. I'm also going to copyright certain things in the app. I'm going to trademark the logo and everything. And then I'm going to patent, you know what I'm saying, the invention. You dig? So I'm working on that right now, just so y'all know. You know what I mean? I'm making some real serious moves, like real powerful app. There's nothing like it on the market. Why? Because I'm always thinking outside the box. You feel me? So I'm always getting a lot of great ideas, you know? So just to let you know. So patents are one of the most common and powerful forms of protection for intellectual property. A patent is an exclusive government authority granting an inventor the right to exclude others from making, using, or selling their invention. This allows the inventor to protect their intellectual property and defend themselves against anyone who infringes on their intellectual property. Anyone can file a patent application regardless of their age. You hear that? All right. Or geographic location, as long as they have true ownership or inventor stake in the invention. It is important to note that all inventors must be credited in patent application to avoid serious problems in the future. Therefore, the only true requirement for filing a patent application is a contribution to the inventions that will be patented, right? There are several different types of patents. So once again, your children, they're never too young, right? If your children have great ideas, you know what I'm saying? Hey, draw it out, go ahead, patent it, because you never know. That might be an idea somebody might come up with, and then guess what? Your son, your daughter, or even you have a patent to that. Now somebody could buy out the rights to the patent, or you could sell them the license to use it, and you just sit down and get a check. You feel me? So once again, think outside the box, okay? Now you have provisional patents, you have utility patents, aka non-provisional patents. You have design patents, you have plant patents. You also have PCT international. Basically, those are patents that's international to protect your work internationally. Okay. Now, each of the patents provide its own with a unique right to protect themselves against various types of intellectual property infringement. It is important to make sure that you understand the difference between each patent before you decide to file a patent. However, if you are going to file a single patent application, it is always best to file a utility, aka a non-provisional patent application. Utility patents are the most common and most powerful patent available through the USPTO, which is the United States Patent Trademark Office, right? Patents documents are made up of several different sections of content. Most patents include an abstract, drawings, specification, and claims. Each of these components is important, but each serves a different function. So once again, when you are doing your patent, you have to write an abstract, right? A short summary of the invention in detail, right? Now, next, used to give readers a basic understanding of the invention being patented, right? So that's the abstract. Now, a drawing, right? Annotated black line drawing of the invention, used to help anyone interpreting the patent to understand the intended structure, assembly, and use of the invention. An opportunity to provide a visual representation of the invention. Okay. Specification, disclosures of all the specific details of the invention. So what you want to do is, once you have your invention, you want to go in detail, in specific details, right? And lay out or make a disclosure of what your invention entails in detail. So you want to write all that out, right? Used to ensure the intended intellectual property is not misunderstood or limited by any future interpreters, right? An opportunity to document every important detail associated with the invention. So sometimes, even if it's just a little piece of your invention that somebody want to use, even if it come close to it, and it could be interpreted as they took that from you. Guess what? You have a lawsuit, or you could get a check, right? Now, claims: sentence fragments that clearly identify the invention, its structure, and its functionality. So you have to break that down in the details as well, right? Used to define what is being patented and the scope of the patent rights. Okay. The only section of the patent that will be directly interpreted by a patent examiner to determine the patentability. So, based on the description or the disclosure, right, of the scope of the patent, that will determine whether you will get a patent or not. All right. So you want to be specific and make sure that you're not using something that's out there and using the same thing. However, you could add on to something. All right. It doesn't mean you can't use something else. You could alter it and change it somewhat, okay, to make it unique. All right. How do patent works? How do they work? Patents are very effective and popular method of protecting intellectual property. However, patents can be complex and confusing to anyone who is not familiar with how they work. There are two factors that are most important for understanding how patents work. Number one, how does a patent protect your intellectual property? Number two, how does an invention earn a patent? How does your patent protect your intellectual property? A patent application is used to clearly define an invention, how it is made, and how it is used. Every detail disclosed in your patent application should be interpreted to determine whether or not the invention is patentable. However, patent claims are the only section of a patent application that must be reviewed to determine patentability. This makes the patent claims the most important aspect of any patent application and ensuing patent. So basically, anyone could create an invention, anyone could file for a patent, but once again, to determine whether you're going to get it or not, you have to go into the claims of what that invention is made or created for, and that will determine whether you're going to get the patent or not. Why? Because they're going to do a search to see if there's anything like it or the same thing as it, okay, to see if you're qualified for that patent. All right. It may seem like a lot, which is a lot, but don't let it be threatening. Just take your time and read the article, and you could always, seek some type of legal counsel to help you with that, right? So anyway, they give more details on here in this. They tell you, well, how does an invention earn a patent? They tell you about the cost, how long does it last, right? So you have utility patent lasts for about 20 years, planned patent 20 years, design patent 15, provisional patent 12, PCT, which is the international, 30 months, right? And they're giving you the cost, right? How much do patents cost? And they have a breakdown of that right there. So it's a good article, okay? It's a good article. So patent application filing fees, and then you have provisional patents from 300, a large entity is 300, a small entity is 150, a micro entity is 75. So you see, it's reasonable, right? And that's a provisional patent. Most people file for provisional patents, right? Then you have a utility patents, right? Fees, electronic filing is about 1,800 for a large entity, small entity 830, a micro entity 455, right? So it is not that expensive based on what you want to do. International patents are a little more. We're looking a little bit about $4,300 for a huge entity. A mid-sized entity is about 2,800, and a micro entity is about 2,300, right? So I just wanted to kind of once again just drop a little bit of information in terms of copyright, trademark, and patents. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I just told you how much a Big Chief was going on. I just dropped some of the prices that they have, right? But definitely, I put all the links in the description so you could actually go through that, take your time. Like I said, what I did was I called LegalZoom. They haven't given me a fee just yet because I'm still writing out the details of my patent. I'm still drawing out the concept. So once I do all that, then I'm going to send it to them and they'll give me a price. But as you could see, it ranged from 200, 150, it depends, 75, it depends on the size, right? And they'll let you know. So once again, man, like I said, let's start thinking outside the box. Let us use a little more wisdom. You know what I mean? Certain slangs that might get popular, you might hear it on the radio in a song, and guess what? They may not trademark it because they are not on game like that. Go ahead and trademark it. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that because somebody else is going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So look at like bling, all those different things we used to say back in the days, you know what I mean? Lit, LIT, yo, this is lit. You know what I'm saying? That could have been trademark. You see what I'm saying? So, but again, we don't be thinking about those things because nobody teaches those things. You feel me? And all I'm just asking you is to open up your mind, okay? Open up your mind, get outside the box, and start thinking business. Remember, the United States is a corporation. It's a corporation. And if you cannot understand what business is or how to deal with businesses, or you're not business minded, then you will not be able to understand what the United States is. And everything that happens in the United States, you will think it's against you because of the color of your skin. No, it is because you are illiterate when it comes to, you know, businesses. You know what I'm saying? It comes to understanding the concept of a business. And it's okay. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I didn't know these things until I started learning, and I'm self-taught. You know what I mean? But I had to get up and read the books. I had to do the research. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm able to share that information with you. So it's okay to be ignorant. The problem is when you decide to dwell in ignorance, then it becomes stupidity. You see what I'm saying? And that you don't want to be. But it's okay to be ignorant. There are a lot of things I'm still ignorant with. And a lot of people come, they get emotional when I post things, and I post comments and all them things because they feel threatened. I'm not attacking you. I'm just, and a typical example, a young lady today, oh, well, you think you know everything. Because I post information, why you threaten like that? It doesn't mean I know everything. I'm just sharing what I know. You see what I'm saying? But people get threatened by people with knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And those people are very dangerous people. So, I didn't even do the back and forth. I just unfriended her and I blocked her because, like I tell people, I'm not going to take my energy and give it to people like that. You see what I'm saying? My energy and my time is too important. You feel me? So with that being said, I would just rather delete you. I'm not going to do the back and forth. What I post is for educational purposes. It's not for me to think I'm better than anybody or I know more than anybody. No, there are people that I learn from, but I know a lot of information, so I'm sharing because sharing is caring. And that's why the universe always give me in abundance because I'm not stingy with what I know. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, I hope this information was valuable to you. Do some more research and research on copyrights, trademarks, and patents, and start protecting your intellectual property and start teaching your children about those things. All right. I love y'all. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll link up in another video. All right. No doubt. I finally made one of your lives. All right. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. It's all good, family. It's all good. All right. You guys are absolutely welcome. So once again, I hope that information, I put the link in the description. Use that as just kind of like a catapult, right? To kind of like start learning and start doing more research. A lot of times it's not that we don't know, we don't want to, we just don't know how to start. So I gave you a start. Now you're able to dive a little deeper and possibly become an expert and now do a video, and I might learn something. Who knows? Each one teach one. All right. One love.